Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. We are beginning the year 2024, another year. Let's pray that may we be able to continue with the same enthusiasm in our service to Srimad Bhagavatam by coming together every day and hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, and if we simply regularly heard Srimad Bhagavatam, simply by that one act, we can develop our love for Krishna. So we pray to the most merciful lordships, Sri Sri Radha Sharad Bihari, Sri Sri Radha Madhav, Sri Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Gaur Nitai, Panchatattva, and Srila Prabhupada, that they may allow us to continue in this service for their pleasure. So with that prayer, we'll begin our Srimad Bhagavatam session in 2024. So also it's a Monday, so we'll be learning a new shloka today. So let's begin. So the last shloka that we memorized was Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, texts 6 and 7. So now let me take a look. What's the next memorization verse? I think it is 8, but let me check. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, the next one is text 8. So please repeat after me. This is the famous one. 8 to 12 is the sequence, right? So 8 is the topmost, it's the best. And if you're not able to do this, then Krishna gives plan B. If you're not able to do this, then you can try this. If you're not able to do this, then one step lower, like that. So this is text 8. Please repeat. Mayyeva mana adhatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasishyasi mayyeva Ata urdhvam na samshayaha Mayyeva mana adhatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasishyasi mayyeva Ata urdhvam na samshayaha Mayyeva mana adhatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasishyasi mayyeva Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. You can also take it as Krishna's instruction for us, right, today. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. So let's start reciting. Does anyone need to go first? Okay. Madhava.
Mayyeva mana adhutsva maya buddhim nivesaya nivasisyasi mayyeva ata urdhvam na samsayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Okay. Achintadev Prabhu, Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Mayyeva mana adhatsva.
Mai eva mana adhasva.
Mayi buddhim niveshaya.
Mai buddhim niveshaya.
Nivasishyasi mayyeva.
Nivasishyai mai eva.
Ata urdhvam na samshayaha.
Ata urdham na samsaya. Translation. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always, without a doubt. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mai eva mana adhatsva mai buddhim niveshaya nivasisyashi mayeva ata urdhvam na samsaya. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Arunita. Mayyeva mana adhatsva.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without it.
Hare Krishna. Inba, Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashishyasi mayyeva ata urdham na samshayaha. Translation. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Yeah. Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
Yeah. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mayyeva mana adatsva mayi buddhi niveshaya nivashishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Mayyeva mana adatsva mahi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Translation. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
Thank you. Isha.
Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Yeah. Krishna Shish.
Mayeva mana adhatsva, my buddhim nivesaya, nevasishyasi mayeva, ata urdhvam na samshaya. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Madhava. Oh, you finished. Rasapriya.
Mayeva mana adhatsva, my buddhim nivesaya, nevasisyasi mayeva, ata urdhvam na samsaya. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Next is Neelambari Radha Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Happy Krishna Conscious New Year to you and to everyone. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Mai eva manava adashtva, mai buddhim niveshaya, nivashishyasi mai eva ata ardhvam namshaya. Just fix your mind upon me, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? No, right? Okay. Now we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 15, Lord Parashuram. Parashuram, the Lord's warrior incarnation. So we saw Kartavirya Arjun, along with his soldiers, was served by Jamadagni in his ashram. And he was able to do that because he had Kamadhenu. But Kartavirya Arjun felt that Jamadagni was more powerful than him. He was more wealthy because of Kamadhenu. And also because he's able to perform this Agnihotra Yagya every day, so he's more powerful than me. And how he's able to do? Because of Kamadhenu. So he was actually envying Jamadagni. So then he forcibly took away Kamadhenu along with her calf. While Kamadhenu was crying. That's what we read yesterday. So let's see. Of course, Parashuram was not at home at the time, right? So I'll just read. Text 25. Kartavirya Arjun thought that Jamadagni was more powerful and wealthy than himself because of possessing a jewel in the form of the Kamadhenu. Therefore, he and his own men, the Haihayas, were not very much appreciative of Jamadagni's reception. On the contrary, they wanted to possess that Kamadhenu, which was useful for the execution of the Agnihotra sacrifice. So we read about the Agnihotra sacrifice there, how sacrifice is important. But Kartavirya Arjun could not see that, right? Being puffed up by material power, Kartavirya Arjun encouraged his men to steal Jamadagni's Kamadhenu. Thus the men forcibly took away the crying Kamadhenu along with her calf to Mahishmati, Kartavirya Arjun's capital. Thereafter, Kartavirya Arjun, having left with the Kamadhenu, so after Kartavirya Arjun left with the Kamadhenu, Parashuram returned to the ashram. When Parashuram, the youngest son of Jamadagni, heard about Kartavirya Arjun's nefarious deeds, he became as angry as a trampled snake. So then we'll read the next one now, text 28. So, Achintadev Prabhu, who was the last person yesterday? Do you remember?
No, Mataji.
Yeah, I don't know if I sent a message. I think it was Saujanya Mataji, but Saujanya Mataji was there on Saturday? No, right? Not able to recollect yesterday. But everyone joined later, as far as when the person was reading, I remembered that I'll send it, but I didn't send it in the group. Let's just start all over again, unless, but yeah. Let's just begin then. Okay, so Prabhuji. Ghoram adaya parashum saturnam varma karmukam anvadhavata durmarsho mrigendra iva yuthapam. Yes, Prabhuji.
Translation. Taking up his fierce chopper, his shield, his bow, and a quiver of arrows, Lord Parashuram, exceedingly angry, chased Kartavyarjuna just as a lion chases an elephant. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, what all did Parashuram take? He took up his fierce chopper. Chopper is axe. He took a shield, a bow, and a quiver of arrows. So he had a shield and a chopper. Chopper is the axe. And he had his quiver of arrows and a bow. And he was exceedingly angry, like a trampled snake. And then he chased after Kartavirya Arjun like a lion would chase an elephant. So when he came home, he found out from his mother how Kartavirya Arjun had come and had forcibly taken away their Kamadhenu cow. So then Parashuram was very angry. So armed himself with weapons and he chased after Kartavirya Arjun. We already saw how powerful Kartavirya Arjun was. He literally just arrested Ravana like he was nothing, like an insect or something. And then he just released him. That was the power of Kartavirya Arjun. But now Parashuram is chasing after that Kartavirya Arjun like a lion would chase after an elephant. Okay, next. Aditi Lata Mataji or Arunita can read. Tam apatantam bhriguvaryamojasa dhanurdharam bana parashvadhayudham ऐनेयचर्माम्बरमर्कधामभिर् युतं जटाभिर्ददृशे पुरीं विशन्. Mataji or Arunita can read. Okay, then you'll get your turn at the end if you're not coming now. Okay, we'll just go in order. Inba.
As King Kartavirya entered his capital, Mahishmatipuri, he saw Lord Parashurama, the best of the Brigu dynasty, coming after him, holding a chopper, shield, bow, and arrows. Lord Parashurama was covered with a black deerskin, and his matted locks of hair appeared like the sunshine.
As King Kartavirya Arjun entered his capital, Mahishmatipuri. Okay, so he just came back with Kamadhenu. He just entered Mahishmatipuri with the cow, Kamadhenu and her calf. As he entered, he saw Lord Parashuram coming after him. Lord Parashuram, the best of the Brigu dynasty, coming after him, holding a chopper, shield, bow, and arrows. Obviously, it was an attack. Lord Parashuram was covered with a black deer skin. You must have seen Lord Parashuram's picture in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he wears black deer skin. So Lord Parashuram was covered with a black deer skin, and his matted locks of hair appeared like the sunshine. So, okay. अचोदयद्धस्तिरथाश्वपत्तिभिर्गदासि बाणर्ष्टि शतघ्निशक्तिभिः अक्षौहिणी सप्तदशात् भीषणा again अक्षौहिणी सप्तदशाति भीषणास्ता राम एको भगवान् सूदयत्. Yeah. Inia.
Upon seeing Parashurama, Kartaviri Arjuna immediately feared him and sent many elephants, chariots, horses, and infantry soldiers equipped with clubs, swords, arrows, rishtis, shatagnis, shaktis, and many similar weapons to fight against him. Kartaviri Arjuna sent 17 full akshauhinis of soldiers to check Parashurama, but Lord Parashurama alone killed all of them.
Yes. So Kartaviri Arjun just arrived in his capital city, Mahishmati, and he sees Parashuram coming after him with all weapons, chasing after him. Upon seeing Parashuram, Kartaviri Arjun immediately feared him. That's interesting, huh? Kartaviri Arjun is experiencing fear when he saw Lord Parashuram. Immediately feared him and sent many elephants, chariots, horses, and infantry soldiers equipped with clubs, swords, arrows, rishtis, shatagni, shaktis, and many similar weapons to fight against him. So, out of fear, although he had personally, he was so strong, he had 1,000 arms, and he was so strong. We saw in comparison to Ravana what his strength was. And besides that, he had a big army, so many elephants. But the interesting thing is, he experienced fear in his heart. He experienced fear when he saw Lord Parashuram. Then he sent all his soldiers with so many different types of weapons. You see the list of weapons here, all types of weapons. And he sent the elephants, chariots, horses, and soldiers to fight with one person, Lord Parashuram. Kartaviri Arjun sent 17 full akshauhinis of soldiers to check Parashuram. One person, not that Parashuram came with an army. Single-handedly, just one Parashuram with a chopper in his hand. But Kartaviri Arjun was so fearful, he sent 17 akshauhinis. Do you know how many akshauhinis were there in the battlefield of Kurukshetra?
Mataji, totally 18.
Total 18, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So almost as many as, that is including both sides. Just Kauravas were how many? 11. 11 and a half, I think. But okay, 11. And 7 is on Pandava's side. So Parashuram, Kartaviri Arjun sent 17 akshauhinis, almost as many, right? One akshauhini short of the total akshauhini of soldiers, warriors in the battle of Kurukshetra. And all those soldiers to fight with one person, Lord Parashuram. But Lord Parashuram alone killed all of them. All the 17 akshauhini of soldiers were killed by Lord Parashuram alone. With his axe, he was able to kill them all. Purport. So Prabhuji, Mataji, Jai Shri Mataji or Jai Ganesh?
Yes, ma'am.
The word Akshauni refers to a military phalanx consisting of 21,870 chariots and elephants, 109,350 infantry soldiers, and 65,610 horses. An exact description is given in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva, 2nd chapter, as follows. Eko rato dachaschaika nara pancha padataiha trayescha turudash tachnai patiriti abhidiyate patin tu trigunam etam vidu sena mukam budaha त्रीणि सेनामुखान्यैको गुल्म इति अभिधीयते त्रयो गुल्मा गणो नाम वाहिनी तु गणास्त्रयः श्रुतास्तिस्रस्तु वाहिनीः पृतनेति विचक्षणैः चामुस्तु पृतनास्तिस्रस् चम्वास्तिस्रस्त्वानिकिनि अनिकिनीं दशागुणाम् आहुर अक्षुणैः बुधाः अक्षौहिण्यस्तु संख्याता तथानां द्विजसत्तमाः संख्यागणित तत्त्वज्ञै शकशन् एक विंशतिः शतान्युपरि चास्तौ च भूयस्तथा च सप्ततिः गजानां तु परिमाणं तावद् एवत्र निर्दिशेत् नेयं शतासहस्रं तु सहस्राणि तथा नव नराणाम् अधि पञ्चाशत् शतानि त्रीणि चानगः पञ्चषष्टिसहस्राणि तथा स्वानं शतानि च दशोत्तराणि सच्चाहु एतावद् संख्यया एताम् अक्षौहिणीं प्राहुः संख्यातत्त्वविदो जनाः. One chariot, one elephant, 5 infantry soldiers, and 3 horses are called Patti by those who are learned in the science. The wise also know that a Sena Mukha is 3 times what a Patti is. 3 Sena Mukhas are known as 1 Gulma. 3 Gulmas are called a Gana. The 3 Ganas are called a Vahini. 3 Vahinis have been referred to by the learned as a Pritana. 3 Pritanas equal 1 Chamu, and 3 Chamus equal 1 Anikini. The wise refer to 10 Anikinis as 1 Akshauhini. The chariots of an Akshauhini have been calculated at 21,870 by those who know the science of such calculations. O best of the twice born, and the number of elephants is the same. The number of infantry soldiers is 109,350, and the number of horses is 65,610. This is called an Akshauhini. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. I'm not going to go over the whole thing again, because it's difficult for me also. I don't know these numbers by heart. You can remember the first one, chariots, 21,000 approximately. Chariots, right? And then infantry soldiers, and 65,000 horses, 109,000 soldiers, infantry. So this is a description from Mahabharata about, and also this is interesting. I mean, just like we have calculation of time, right? The smallest unit of time is called, I think, a lava, and then so many lavas make the next, and then so many of that makes the next, like that. There's a whole, like a table. So similarly here also about soldiers, the smallest is called a patti, right? And patti means 1 chariot, 1 elephant, 3 horses, and 5 soldiers. That's 1. And then 3 times of that, and 3 times like that. So the names also, it's interesting. You can remember, right? Patti, Sena Mukha, Gulma, Gana, and then Vahini, and Pritana, Chamu, Anikini, and finally Akshauhini. So, next verse. So, how many Akshauhinis did he send? Kartavirya Arjun? 17 Akshauhinis he sent. यतो यतोऽसौ प्रहरत् परश्वधो मनोनिलौजाः परचक्रसूदनः ततस्ततश्छिन्नभुजोरुकन्धरा निपेतुरुर्व्यां हतसूतवाहनाः. माताजी, जय श्री माताजी.
Lord Parashurama, being expert in killing the military strength of the enemy, worked with the speed of the mind and the wind, slicing his enemies with his chopper Parashu. Wherever he went, the enemies fell, their legs, arms, and shoulders being severed. Their chariot drivers killed, and their carriers, the elephants and the horses, all annihilated.
Yes. Lord Parashuram, being expert in killing the military strength of the enemy, worked with the speed of the mind and the wind. So I heard in a class that Parashuram, Lord Parashuram, was killing, he was just moving his chopper at the speed of the mind. Can we even imagine what is the speed of the mind? We cannot. Just like immediately, in a moment's time, less than a moment, you can just, with your mind, you can go thousands of miles away from here. Just that's the speed of the mind. That's how fast the mind travels. It can cover so much distance in such a short time. And he was killing at the speed of the mind. And then when he got tired, he reduced the speed. From the speed of the mind, he came down to the speed of the wind. And you know the speed of the wind, all our tornadoes and hurricanes, that's all the speed of the wind, how much destruction they can do. But for him, when he felt tired, he came down to the speed of the wind. So single-handedly, Lord Parashuram killed 17,000 Akshauhini soldiers. Akshauhinis means that includes soldiers, horses, elephants, everything. So Lord Parashuram, being expert in killing the military strength of the enemy, worked with the speed of the mind and the wind, slicing his enemies with his chopper, Parashu. Wherever he went, the enemies fell, right? Literally, they were just falling off. Their arms were getting cut, their legs were getting cut, their shoulders were being cut off. Chariot drivers were getting killed. Their carriers, the elephants and horses, right? They were also getting killed. Everyone was getting killed. Good. So who's next? Isha, right? Yeah.
In the beginning, when the army of the enemy was full of fighting soldiers, elephants, and horses, Lord Parashuram proceeded into their midst at the speed of mind to kill them. When somewhat tired, he slowed down to the speed of the wind, and continued to kill the enemies vigorously. The speed of mind is greater than the speed of the wind.
Yeah. As we discussed that already. Yeah. In the beginning, when the army of the enemy was full of fighting soldiers, Lord Parashuram proceeded into their midst at the speed of the mind. Yeah. Because when there is, more, then you need to use more power to subdue them. And then when the number reduced, you don't need, just like, when you go in your geared vehicles like a scooter or a motorbike, when you first start, you go in the first gear. That means there's more power, isn't it? First gear. And then after you pick up some speed, then you change the gear to second or third, like that. So Lord Parashuram, in the beginning, because the enemy was full of soldiers, he was fighting, with full speed. Not full speed. The Supreme Lord, it's not full speed, but he was working at the speed of the mind. And then when considerable amount of soldiers were killed, he came down to the next gear, right? So he reduced the speed now to the speed of the wind. Next. So who's all this that's getting killed? Kartavirya Arjun's army. दृष्ट्वा स्वसैन्यं रुधिरौघकर्दमे रणाजिरे रामकुठारसायकैः विवृक्णवर्मध्वजचापविग्रहं निपातितं हैहय आपतदृशा. Krishnashish.
By manipulating his axe and arrows, Lord Parashuram cut to pieces the shields, flags, bows, and bodies of Kartavirya Arjun's soldiers, who fell on the battlefield, muddying the ground with their blood. Seeing these reverses, Kartavirya Arjun, infuriated, rushed to the
Yeah. So what was happening to the soldiers of Kartavirya Arjun? Their bodies, not just their bodies, their flags, their weapons, their shields, they were all being cut to pieces by Lord Parashuram's axe as well as his bow. He was using both. He was using, and he was not on a chariot or anything, right? He was using his bow and arrows and the axe. And the field, the battlefield, the ground had become muddy with the blood of all the soldiers. And Kartavirya Arjun saw this. He couldn't tolerate it. He became so angry and he rushed into the battlefield to fight with Lord Parashuram. Atharjunah panchashateshu bahubhir बाणान् युगपत्स सन्दधे रामाय रामोऽस्त्रभृतां समग्रणीस् तान्येकधन्वेषुभिराच्छिनत् समम्. Madhava.
Then Kartavirya Arjun, with his 1,000 arms, simultaneously fixed arrows on 500 bows to kill Lord Parasuram. But Lord Parasuram, the best of fighters, released enough arrows with only one bow to cut to pieces immediately all the arrows and bows in the hands of Kartavirya Arjun.
How wonderful. Kartavirya Arjun has 1,000 arms, so he got 500 arrows. I mean, I can't even imagine how he's holding. I mean, you should have space, isn't it, to hold 500 arrows? But he was able to do it somehow. He got 500 arrows with his 1,000 arms. So, two arms, you need both hands. To work a bow, you need two hands. So, with each set of two hands, he was holding a bow. So, he had 500 bows. And on each of them, he's putting his arrows. And all these 500 were simultaneously shot towards Lord Parashuram. So that is wonderful, isn't it? Kartavir Arjun's feat was amazing. With 500 arrows, 500 bows, he's shooting arrows continuously. Not that he just shot once and then no. He's shooting arrows continuously with his 1,000 arms from 500 bows, all directed towards one person, Lord Parashuram. Now, even more interesting than this is Lord Parashuram is one person. He has only one bow and a quiver of arrows. And with his one bow, he's countering all the arrows released by Kartavirya Arjun from his 500 bows. So at a time, 500 arrows would come to Lord Parashuram. With a single bow, he was able to counter all 500 arrows at a time. And then, like this, continuously arrows were coming, and he was able to counter all of them. How, what is the word here, right? People like to go and watch horror movies, right? To get, to feel that feeling, that sensation of fear. If somebody were to watch this fight between Lord Parashuram and Kartavirya Arjun, they'll get an experience which they can never get. Yeah. Isha saying they'll just die of heart attack. They wouldn't even be able to see it. So yeah, so Kshatriyas, right? This is their spirit. That's why we don't have Kshatriyas in today's world. You need that type of heart. So Kartavirya Arjun being angry, infuriated at uh, the number of soldiers that Lord Parashuram was killing, he shot arrows with all his arms at Lord Parashuram. Lord Parashuram was able to release enough arrows with only one bow to cut to pieces immediately all the arrows as well as bows. So Parashuramji, Lord Parashuram, cut not only the arrows that were released, but he cut all the 500 bows of Kartavirya Arjun with his single bow. Using his single bow, he was able to cut all the arrows as well as all the bows that Kartavirya Arjun was holding. Next. पुनः स्वहस्तैरचलान् मृदेङ्घ्रिपान् उत्क्षिप्य वेगाद् अभिधावतो युधि भुजान् कुठारेण कठोरनेमिना चिच्छेद रामः प्रसभं वहेरिवा. Rasapriya.
When his arrows were cut to pieces, Kartavirya Arjun uprooted many trees and hills with his own hands, and again rushed strongly toward Lord Parasuram to kill him. But Parasuram then used his axe with great force to cut off Kartavirya Arjun's arms, just as one might lop off the hoods of a serpent.
So how did Kartavirya Arjun get his arms? He was able to please Lord Dattatreya, who is also an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, or Amsha. So similarly, here Lord Parashuram, who is also an incarnation, right? So the person who gave can also take back. When all his arrows were cut to pieces, whose arrows? Kartavirya Arjun's arrows were cut to pieces by Lord Parashuram. He uprooted. Now he didn't have any weapons. His bows were also cut. So he started uprooting many trees and hills with his own hands. And again he rushed strongly toward Lord Parashuram to kill him. But Parashuram then used his axe with great force to cut off Kartavirya Arjun's arms, just as one might lop off the hoods of a serpent. So, at first, Lord Parashuram simply cut the bows, but when Kartavirya Arjun this time attacked, he started uprooting big trees and taking off, hills. You can say like lifting hills to attack Parashuram. Then this time Parashuram cut off the arms of Kartavirya Arjun, cut off all the arms of Kartavirya Arjun. How? If you have many hooded serpent, then you just cut off all the hoods of the serpent. Like that, Lord Parashuram was cutting off all the arms of Kartavirya Arjun. Okay. So next, okay, maybe we'll just, everyone can read. Next will be Nilambari Radha Mataji, I think. Yeah. Krittabaho, yes, Mataji. Krittabaho shirastasya gire shringam ivaharat hate pitari tatputra ayutam dudruvurubhayat agnihotrim upavartya savatsam paraviraha samupetyashramam pitre pariklishtam samarpayat. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thereafter, Parashuram cut off like a mountain peak the head of Kartavirya Arjuna, and who had already lost his arms. When Kartavirya Arjuna, 10,000 sons, saw their father killed, they all fled in fear. Then Parashuram, having killed the enemy, released the Kamadhenu, which had undergone great suffering, and brought it back with its calf to his residence, where he gave it to his father Jamadagni. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. So first of all, Kartavirya Arjun's arms were cut off, and then Lord Parashuram cut off his head. Do you remember any other scene from Srimad Bhagavatam when you hear this? First the arms were cut off and then the head got cut off.
Vritrasur.
Even I was thinking of Vritrasur, just like that. So, yeah, Parashuram cut off like a mountain peak the head of Kartavirya Arjun, who had already lost his arms. Then what happened? Kartavirya Arjun had 10,000 sons. They came to attack Lord Parashuram. No, they didn't come to attack. They became so fearful because their father was so strong and he got killed by Parashuram. You can imagine they must be like, who is this, right? So out of fear, they just fled. Then Lord Parashuram brought Kamadhenu along with the calf back home and returned her to his father Jamadagni. So next is Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji, right? I think everyone else has read. Okay. स्वकर्म तत्कृतं रामः पित्रे भ्रातृभ्य एव च वर्णयामास तच्छ्रुत्वा जमदग्निरभाषत.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Arunita.
Parashuram described to his father and brothers these activities in killing
Kartavirya Arjuna.
Arjuna. Upon hearing of these deaths, Jamadagni spoke to his son as follows.
Yes. So he came home and he explained how, what happened on the battlefield, how Kartavirya Arjuna was killed. So Jamadagni, when he heard all this from Parashuram, he began to speak. What is Jamadagni saying to Parashuram? Rama Rama Mahabaho Bhavan Papam Akarashit Avadhin Naradevam Yad Sarvadevamayam Vritha. Yes, Mataji.
O great hero, my dear son Parshuram, you have unnecessarily killed the king, who is supposed to be the embodiment of all the demigods. Thus you have committed a sin.
Very interesting, huh? So we will stop reading here. I'll just discuss that point and then we'll continue Srimad Bhagavatam reading tomorrow. So this is actually the principle. You can punish the Kshatriya for, if he made some mistake, make him go through some atonement like that. But to kill the king, it is not right, because he is, the king, especially the king, he is called Naradeva. Naradeva means he is a representative of the Supreme Lord. Just like the spiritual master is a representative of the Supreme Lord. That means for the disciple, the spiritual master is as good as the Supreme Lord. The way one serves the Supreme Lord, in the same way he serves. That much respect he gives and he honors and he worships the spiritual master. Similarly, for the citizens, the king is a representative of the Supreme Lord. So they give the same respect to their king as they would give to the Supreme Lord. And such a king, you have just killed him. This was not right. You should not have done that. This is a sin. You have to atone for this sin. That's what Lord Jamadagni told Lord Parashuram. So what happened after that, we will read tomorrow. Now, and tomorrow again we'll just start from the beginning. So Achinta Dev Prabhu, Aditi Lata Mataji, Arunita, in that order we'll do. I'll just send it. And let's read Bhagavad Gita and then Lilamrita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, text 5. Please repeat. Drishtaketushchekitanah Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Shaibya. So Duryodhana is telling his teacher Dronacharya that you see the army of the Pandavas, how nicely it is arranged by your disciple Himata, your intelligent disciple Drishtadyumna. You made a mistake in the past. For that, now you have to bear the consequence. Don't make any more mistakes. Right? This time, be very alert. Like that. That was his message. That's what he was trying to convey to Dronacharya. And then he's saying, look at the army of the Pandavas. There are many warriors in this army who are equal to Bhima and Arjun in their war skills. And then he starts naming all of them. So that's what we saw in today's verse. Yes, we can even read the next one. So there are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja and Shaibya. Next one. Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttamaujascha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamauja, the son of Subhadra. Who is the son of Subhadra? Abhimanyu. And the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. Right? And then all these others are also there. Yudhamanyu, Uttamauja, Abhimanyu, and the sons of Draupadi. They are all great chariot fighters. They are all on the side of the Pandavas. And then the next one we will see tomorrow. After giving a list of soldiers on the side of, not the entire list, but he just named a few on the side of the Pandavas, then he will say, now look at my army, right? Who all are there on my side, like that. So that we'll see tomorrow. Now let's read Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. So we saw Srila Prabhupada is speaking in his room to the people who come, and he's speaking from Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, and Karpanya dosha pahatasva. So Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapanam. Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is telling them how everyone needs a spiritual master, like that. Yeah, so you can take it in whichever way. The purpose of Srila Prabhupada's message is that everyone needs a spiritual master. But then Srila Prabhupada starts explaining about who's a Brahmana and, the symptoms of a married lady and Based on the part of the hair, you can tell what kind of a woman she is from external symptoms. So now they can just think that Swamiji is telling them about the Indian social customs, right? But if someone is actually attentively hearing, if he's tuned into Srila Prabhupada's messages, then he can understand the message that Srila Prabhupada was giving through all these examples of a woman's part and the red sindoor and all that. The whole purpose of that exercise was to tell them that everyone needs a spiritual master. Okay, next. So in every step of one's life, the spiritual master guides. Now, to give such guidance, a spiritual master should also be a very perfect man. Otherwise, how can he guide? Now here Arjun knows that Sri Krishna is the perfect person, so therefore he is accepting him. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Sanskrit, no one knows a word of it, but there is never any question for Srila Prabhupada. Even if they don't understand it, the transcendental sound of Shastra will purify them. It is his authority and he cannot omit it. And even at first impression, it presents an air of scholarly authority, the original, though foreign, words of the sages. So you'll see Srila Prabhupada's way, and actually this is the way of presentation of any acharya. The Sandarbhas, right? When you read Srila Jiva Goswami Sandarbhas, why even Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita we are reading. At every step, whenever they make a statement, they support it from the scriptures. Some they quote a shloka from the scriptures. This is the bona fide way of presenting. So here Srila Satswarup Maharaj, the author of Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita, is saying that when you quote Sanskrit, it actually gives, immediately the other person will feel the weight of the statement that you're saying, even if they didn't know anything about Sanskrit. But why? How they're able to feel that? Because the weight is there in those words themselves. These are the words from Shastra. These are the words spoken by the sages. So even if the other person didn't understand the language, just that sound vibration itself is very potent. So Srila Prabhupada always quoted, nobody knew Sanskrit there, but he always quoted Sanskrit verses to make his point. So I am just surrendering unto you, and you accept me as your disciple, Arjun says. Friendly talks cannot make a solution to perplexity. Friendly talks may be going on for years together, but no solution. So here Arjun accepts Krishna as the spiritual master. This means that whatever Krishna will dictate, he has to accept. This is what spiritual master means, right? Like if we are talking as friends, we can go on arguing forever, right? Between two friends, you will say something and your friend will say, no, I don't agree with you, no, like this, no. You can go on arguing back and forth, back and forth. There won't be any final point of, okay. But between spiritual master and disciple, when the spiritual master gives an instruction, the disciple must accept it. There's no question of arguing. No question of arguing. If you don't understand it, then in a submissive way you can inquire. I'm not able to understand. Can you explain it with more examples so that I can understand? Not that I don't agree with what you're saying. That cannot happen with a spiritual master. So that is why, because Arjun tried. He tried arguing, but he saw his problem was not getting solved. So therefore, he surrenders to Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is saying here, friendly talks may be going on for years together, but no solution. So here Arjun accepts Krishna as a spiritual master. This means that whatever Krishna will dictate, he has to accept. One cannot deny the order of the spiritual master. Therefore, one has to select a spiritual master by whose orders one will not commit a mistake, by whose orders one will not commit a mistake. That means you will accept, you only accept that person as a spiritual master whose every order you are able to accept, right? Whatever he says, I'm able to do. When you have that type of a commitment, then you accept that person as a spiritual master. Because if you accept him as a spiritual master and if you don't follow, it's a aparad to the holy name. Third offense, disobeying the orders of the spiritual master. Suppose you accept the wrong person as spiritual master and he guides you wrongly, then your whole life is spoiled. Yes. So one has to accept a spiritual master whose guidance will make one's life perfect. That is the relationship between spiritual master and disciple. It is not a formality. It is a great responsibility, both for the disciple and for the spiritual master. And yes, so some questions. Student, but if the disciple is in ignorance before Prabhupada, yes, Prabhupada acknowledged a serious question. It is for answering questions like this from disciples in ignorance that he has left retirement in India and come to America. Student, how does he know which master to choose, right? If the student is in ignorance, how does he know which one to choose? Because he doesn't have the knowledge to make a wise decision. Prabhupada, yes. So the first thing is that one should be searching after a spiritual master. Just as you search after some school, you must at least have some preliminary knowledge of what a school is. You can't search for a school and go to a cloth shop. If you are so ignorant that you do not know what is a school and what is a cloth shop, then it is very difficult for you. You must know at least what a school is, so that knowledge is like this. Tad vijnanartham sagurumeva abhigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. According to this verse, the spiritual master is required for a person who is inquisitive about transcendental knowledge. There's another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. One should search after a spiritual master if one is inquisitive about transcendental subject matters. Okay? So this is from Bhagavatam, and then there's another verse from before that we saw. Both are saying the same thing. Guru is for who? It is for Guru is for a person who is actually looking for transcendental knowledge. Unless one is at least conversant with preliminary knowledge of transcendental matters, how can he inquire from the spiritual master? So we can stop there today. Thank you all very much, dear devotees. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.